Yes, people, welcome back to another match reaction, Normski TV. Slavia Prague nil, Arsenal 3. Another professional job. Arsenal preserve another clean sheet, guys. 10 games in a row, 8 clean sheets in a row. Why did you concede a shot on goal, guys? Why? But listen, I'm only joking. Listen, guys, look, we've gone there. I think Slavia Prague, I haven't lost that ground for a little while still, from what I was hearing. But I'm not gonna lie. When the game started, Slavia Prague were up front. You could see they were closing us down, and we looked a little bit not shaky, but you know what I mean. I think we needed to quiet down the crowd because they were. I don't know if you saw the ultras. Literally, all of them didn't have no shirts on. That's scary. That's scary enough. But the noise that they make there, it was just ridiculous, mate. But look, we go there and we win the game comfortably. They had one shot on target. We had, I think, something like 8 shots on target. I can't remember how many total shots. I'll look at the stats in a minute. I don't want to be second guessing. But the team for tonight, he picks obviously Ray in goal, Timber at right back, Saliba, Gabriel. If you can hear noise in the background, my son, misses watching the Liverpool game. So if you do hear some shouting, they're just hoping that Real Madrid can equalise, but it doesn't matter. We're talking about our game. Pierre in Nkapake. That's how you pronounce his name. I can never pronounce his name, guys, but you know what I'm talking about. The Ecuadorian left centre back playing at left back. Ethan Manweri, Norgard, Rice, Saka on the right. Moreno, our utility player, our IT solution player up front, who gets 2 goals, and Leandro Trossard playing on the left-hand side. On the bench, we had Ricardo Calafori, Max Downham, Eze, Andre Aram, who came on. We'll talk about that. Miles Lewis Skelly, Christian Mosquera, Alex Roja, Charles Segal, Tommy Setford, and Ben White. We've got, obviously, Gokres is injured. That's a bit of a blow. I'm hoping that he will be back. Obviously, they're saying after the international break. So we got a tough game coming up Saturday evening away at the Stadium of Light. It's going to be a tough game. It's looking like Moreno is going to be the one, the IT solution, to go up front for us. And if he can perform and stay in the box, I don't want you outside the box. Stay in the box, because that's where you are absolutely lethal. 2 good goals, and we'll talk about it. But listen, Slavia Prague did come out, on the front foot, and we had to deal with that. Now, after about 20 odd minutes or so, we managed to sort of quieten the crowd, soaked up the pressure, and we was able to get our passing game together. And just as I said, looking at the stats, we had 57% possession, total shots 8 to their 1 shot on target. In total, we had 14 shots to their 9. And yeah, it's really what it is. We've controlled the game, and literally, once you score, that's it. Literally, the penalty. Now, up until that point, I was thinking to myself, "Gosh, bro, we're not really kind of breaking these guys down." And to be honest, in the first half, Saka, great penalty in the 32nd minute. We get that penalty, and yeah, it's like, okay. The referee went and reviewed it. My Liverpool supporter is going to be walking past, so if you do see her coming past, yeah, she's an happy bunny, because I think they won 1-0. Get out of the way, get out of it. Anyway, yeah, that's Miss Normski, by the way. But look, we get the penalty. Now in Champions League, if it hits your hand, it's likely. The referee, I thought the referee, he thought he was the showman today. The referee thought he was a showman today. Every little touch from both sides, he was giving free kicks away. We had a couple of yellow cards. I didn't want Declan Rice. I was worried about Declan Rice getting a yellow card, because we need him for that Bayern Munich game. And it's important that we keep him. And look, he does make the changes eventually throughout the game, but he kept them on too long. You're 3-0 up. Saka, why don't you take Saka off? Do you know what I mean? But listen, we'll go into the ins and outs of the the substitutions and stuff like that. But we get the penalty. Saka dispatches it, lovely, right in the corner. The keeper went the right way, but just couldn't get his hand to it. Big keeper as well, looked massive in that goal. And then, you know, we go in at 1-0, come out second half, and in the 46th minute, a lovely ball from Declan Rice to Trossard, who hits it first time cross. And that's what you've got to do. First time cross, something that Saka needs to learn. First time cross, and who's on the end of it in the box crusher, Mr. Mikel Moreno puts it in there, lovely jubbly. And then he scores again in the 68th minute, an assist from Declan Rice, a nice loft to the ball. The keeper should have done better, but he's got up there in between the keeper and their player, and he just literally headed it backwards from the back of his head. He knew it was going in, he meant it. It was no accident. Keeper should have done better. We end up getting that third goal to pretty much seal it, and that was in the 68th minute. And at this point now, you're just hoping that, right, it's time for Arteta to start making some changes, because the only thing, listen, he picked the side, you know what I mean? So we've got injuries and stuff like that, and you know, we've got a massive game coming up this Saturday evening. We need to put down a marker against Sunderland, because listen, Liverpool play Man City away. Either one of them, I'd prefer them to draw, but we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Maybe Liverpool got a little bit of their mojo back. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens. But Man City, Haaland, who knows? Who knows? But let's just look at the substitution and the times in which, you know, he made the substitutions. He's coming back through. Now, look, as I said, Declan Rice comes off. Declan Rice comes off in the 81st minute. Which is, why is he on for so long? Why is he long? Hey, get him off, because I was worried about him getting a yellow card. You know, the young striker who played in the Carabao Cup against Brighton come on, Andre Araman and us. Ben White comes on for Urian Timber. I thought had a good game. Miles Lewis-Skelly came on for Pierre Enkepai. Max Downham came on for Leandro Trossard, but went over the other side. Every age came on for Ethan Wanreri. Again, Eze, come on, man, involve yourself in the game. You hardly had a touch of the ball, and it's becoming a problem. You know what I mean? I can guarantee you, soon as Odegaard is back in that side, Eze is either going to be on. Well, Trossard is playing well, so he ain't going to get Eze get Trossard out on that left hand side. So the chances are, what's going to happen is that he could end up being benched. Eze, you need to make a mark, because you're not getting yourself enough on the ball. The difference is with Odegaard, he shows for the ball. You know, he absolutely shows for the ball. So, look, you need to come on and you need to impose yourself a little bit more on the game. You're still looking a little bit shy. Do you know what I mean? Go for that ball. Do you know what I mean? You have these moments where you can make things happen, but we need to see you involved more in the game. Max down on that right-hand side, you know, being trebled up on, trebled up on, you know what I mean? Needs to build up his body strength, you know what I mean? I think when he does that, mate, he's going to be an absolute force. 15 years old, come on. And again, we've broken another record, the youngest guy to play, come on, in a Champions League. So, yet again, we're breaking all records. Now, look, we get another clean sheet. Now, they were awarded a penalty, you know, close to the end. I think it might have been about the 84th minute or something like that. I can't remember. And the referee pointed at the spot, and I was like, oh my God. And you saw all the Arsenal players remonstrating. Gabriel Saka went up to him, blah, blah, blah. Referee looked like he had said, that's it, it is a penalty. I thought that's it. And they showed the replay and that. And he was trying to, because couldn't work out whether, because he was holding his ankle. The player, the Slavia Prague player was holding his ankle. But when I looked, when they both went for the ball, Ben White was there, Norgard in the penalty box, and Ben White, obviously his foot was high, so I don't know if they were giving it for a high boot or what, but it looked like the other player kicked Ben White's foot. Ben White got the ball, but kicked the back of Ben White's calf. And he just kind of went down in like he'd been shot. And you know, rightly so, VAR took a look at it, and then they sent him to the screen. As soon as he goes to the screen, you know it's going to be overturned. He come there, explain to the player, and we preserve another clean sheet. 10 games in a row, 8 clean sheets. Our defense is absolutely impeccable right now. Gabriel Saliba, you know what I mean? You just can't break them down. Declan Rice, again, another great game today. Yeah, but it looks like, you know, Moreno's going to obviously get the man of the match. You know, gets the 2 goals, makes a difference. He just needs to be in that box. He just needs to stay in that box. I don't like him in midfield. He falls down too easy, gave away a foul, ends up getting a yellow card. He just needs to just stay in the box. Because I don't know what he does. You know, he's not really good as a midfield player. I mean, he's a totally different player when he's playing for Spain. Totally different player when he's playing for Spain. But for Arsenal, in that midfield, and that's why I'm worried if Rice ends up getting injured, if Zubamendi gets injured. Listen, Norgard was Norgard. Do you know what I mean? You pay for what you get. £12 million, take the one off, he's really a £2 million player. He's just happy to be in the Arsenal side playing in Champions League. Yeah. He's not really good enough as far as I'm concerned. But look, he was in there, he just kept it basic. All he does is sideways passes, you know what I mean? For me, he's just not at that level. He's not at that level. So Arteta has to preserve Rice. He has to preserve Zubamendi. And obviously when Odegaard comes back, Eze just needs to impose himself a bit more. Saka, even though he got that penalty, just looks the pace. He's lost. It looks like he's lost his pace. There was a ball played through to him. I can't remember who played the ball through to him. If that was Thierry Henry, he's lofting that ball over. He's sort of tried to hit it into the far left-hand corner, and the keeper makes a save. And that was one-on-one situation. He's got to do better. The other thing which annoys me about him is that when he picks up that ball on that right flank and then cuts in on his left, sometimes he's got to try and play across the area rather than trying to take it on and take a shot, because a couple of them were blocked. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Gets crowded out. He's not getting past his players. Sometimes he was over on the other side playing on the left-hand side, and it didn't really make much difference. Do you know what I'm saying? But he gets a stat pad, he gets the penny, dispatches it well, and obviously we go 1-0 up. Once Arsenal score, the likelihood is that you're not going to score against us, and we're not going to lose by a lot of goals. Now, listen, we've got Sunderland coming up this weekend. After that international break, we come back, we play Tottenham at home, and then smack bang in between that, we got Bayern Munich, who I think beat PSG 2-0. I don't know if the scores has changed. They're coming to the Emirates. With that side, we have to have all our players back. We're hearing the adverts, Odegaard, them mans are going to be back after the international, same with Gokares. We've got 12 points, you know what I mean? And I don't think we conceded any goals. Tell me, put it in the comments. Have we conceded any goals in Champions League? I don't think we have. So this is absolutely fantastic if that's the case. You know what I mean? I'm just losing count in terms of how we are just keeping clean sheet after clean sheet. It's absolutely brilliant right now. And listen, props to Arteta. He took off certain players, but I needed him to have taken off Saka. I needed him to have taken off of Declan Rice as well, because if he got that yellow card, it meant that he misses the Bayern Munich game. Saka just needs minutes to rest. Do you know what I mean? As I said, he took off Trossard down and ends up playing on the right-hand side. And Eze, well, I'm trying to figure out where Eze was playing. Whether he played central or was he playing at the left? I mean, as I said, he came on for Ethan Manmeri, so I suppose he was playing in that centre. And yeah, I mean, listen, so he must have went out to the left. But look, all in all, it was a professional match, professional by the Gunners. Well done. We move. Sunderland is coming up this weekend. This is a must-win game. We have to put more pressure on Man City and Liverpool. Ideal world, they draw. In an ideal world, okay. But we must, because they're only 6 points. Man City only 6 points behind us, and Haaland right now is just on fire. He is absolutely on fire. So we have to go to Sunderland. They're a very physical side. Moreno what I asked you to do, because they can do their set pieces. They've got a guy that can do some long throws, you know what I mean? So we've got to be careful of that. But I still think we will go there. I still think we will win. Will we concede? Who knows? I mean, the problem is, it's just like the Invincibles. When will we end up, losing losing that winning streak? And it's going to be, when will we concede? And when it happens, it will happen. Now, hopefully, when it does happen, we'll be 3-4-0 up, and it's a consolation goal. But if, for whatever reason, the team scores first, will we have the firepower? Will we have the know-how to break down these teams? Set pieces gets you to a certain point, but it's not sustainable. We have to do more in open play. Absolutely have to do more in open play. So look, great, fantastic. We win. We're on 12 points, sitting second in the Champions League table, and sitting top on 25 points in the Premier League. Do we dare to dream, guys? Do we dare to dream? The problem is, don't want to dream too soon, because we've seen it all before. It could all end up in one big nightmare. But the main thing is, tonight we win. Slavia Prague 0, Arsenal 3, Arsenal preserve another clean sheet. Guys, take care. God bless. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you on next match reaction. Take care and God bless.